Alright everybody, I'm sure you can all definitely tell that my tabletop is a little different than traditional. So I am down at my parents' for Father's Day weekend. I had to go kidnap some fabric to lay down as a table. As you can tell, I'm really zoomed in this time too, because my little area I have to work in isn't as big as I have at home. So we're just gonna make do with what we have. And this will challenge some of you out there who have very little space and or just very little to begin with. So we have our cover that we finished a couple weeks ago, and we have our text block here. We have some tie string that I coffee stained a while back, ready to go. And we have a sheet of paper. This is Tim Holtz. I do not remember which pack it came out of. And then, of course, we're gonna need scissors. I love to use my cut board and some fabric tack. Another thing that we're going to need that I completely spaced, excuse me, and there they are. And I'm just destroying the whole place while I'm at it. There we go. I actually keep a whole box of them. They're the raw edge from a lot of quilting projects and such. Here's some raw edge that I created too with some of this Surrey silk. So let's go ahead and go through and pick out our bumper for the edge. I like that creamy color. Of course, we have this one. I think this one might win out. Maybe we'll do it and this one. I think that sounds like a really awesome idea. Ooh, nope, nope. We're definitely choosing this one. I like that one. Yep, we are going with that one. So you guys know I've been watching Bones lately. I know some of the lovely ladies have, hey, that's where my lid went. Anyway, I was posting on that 100-day crafters challenge thing, and a lot of the ladies out there said that they love that TV series. I'm not kidding, I was really sad to see it end. Alright, so one of the first things we're going to do is now we have our raw edge, or a lot of quilters refer it to as salvage, off the edge of your fabric. And we're going to go ahead, and these are not fabric scissors, but they'll do. We're just going to lay it down and measure and snip. There we are. And do the same thing a second time, which is you can either measure on the text block, or you can use the piece you just cut to measure a second one. So my dad is doing very well this Father's Day. You may be able to hear him in the background. He was definitely ecstatic to know I was coming down to stay the weekend. It's funny, he says he's always fine. But I told him that, I'm like, hey, I'm going to stay the night. Is that good? Or is that better than good? He's like, that's better than good. I'm like, is that great? And he's like, yeah. So he's definitely happy. And if only you guys could see my video set up right now. It's kind of funny. I actually used my hair tie, one of my headband hair ties, to tie an OT light to the top of my tripod. So, but hey, whatever works, right? I mean, it is about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I really wanted to give you guys something special today and film outside. but sadly it's too windy. I walked out at about 3 and it's like, oh, maybe I can still do this. Went to start looking for tables and then I blew across the yard and well, that was that. So tomorrow it's not supposed to be as windy, so maybe I will be able to get in a video tomorrow. That would be really awesome. And if I can, that'll be the next couple of weeks. I'll upload that one. But I did finish a project today, and I forgot to do a little send-off Happy Mail video for Outgoing like I did on Wednesday this week. But I did take some really magnificent photos. So this is our band, and I just kind of cut it at whatever length. We got some excess glue going on here. So we got to put that back in the bottle. Looks to be about 6 inches, about 12 inches opened up, probably a little bit more, probably about 14 inches, maybe 16. So we're just going to go ahead and cut our string in half. Oop, it's not wanting to cooperate. Okay, there we go. And oh, I need my ruler. Alright, we got our plastic ruler. Alright, so let's see here. It is 7, oh, it's a little more than 7 inches, but we'll just go with 7. So it'd be 3.5. And 3.5. So that way it's right in the middle. And I like to try and make little loop-dees. I've done it multiple different ways, and I found that this is the best way to cover the little cross section, and then you can smooth it out really easy. Is that him? Dad's playing with the bed. He gets bored and he'll raise his feet and, and drop his feet and raise his feet and then drop his feet. And then he'll mistakenly drop the whole bed. And I'll walk in and be like, hey, Dad, you're nearly on the floor. It's kind of funny. Alright, let's do the other side the same way. What you doing, Dad? Yeah, like you said, he's playing. He's bored. 3 inches and 3 inches. He's definitely still got his spunk going on. And it's funny, we got these really big shadows going on right now, but it's actually not that late in the day. Yeah, it's about 6. The sun's still up. After this, some of my family members asked me to watch their poopers for them because they found out I was going to be in town. So I gotta go feed the doggos and get them situated for the night and tucked in. Alrighty. And remember, we do have this going on here from when we built the cover. So technically you do not have to put these fuzzies on your text block, but I always love putting fuzzies on my text blocks. It always adds that little bit of character. There we are. What do you guys think? I think it's gonna be amazing. I'm already in love. Alrighty, so I was gonna leave the hollow spine, but I didn't cut a piece of fabric. And usually if I do the hollow spine, I'll cut a piece of fabric and I'll glue it over this, so if I decide to tuck anything down in there, it's not gonna catch on any of these strings. So I just pretty much talked you over that step. If you would like to do that, that's fine. I'm not gonna do it in this video. If anybody wants to see me physically do that tutorial, please drop it in the comments and I will get you that tutorial. So let's go ahead and begin. Our journal is almost finished, guys. And be sure and put copious amounts of glue on it. All of my basics are done this way. So those of you that actually purchase the basics, you'll know that they are very well made. They will last you probably until the cover falls apart. Because the cover will be older than the materials holding it together. Okay, we're just gonna smooth it out some. Make sure it gets into all the little spots. And if you have an allergy to this glue, definitely wear rubber gloves. If you don't want to touch the glue, that's understandable. You're just gonna have to use the tip of the glue bottle to make sure it makes it into all of the right spots. All right, let's get rid of the glue. Just go like that. Drop it right in there. And this should have tacked up a little bit. Yep. Now we're gonna, this line right here, this top line, we're just gonna attach it to this line, set it down, line everything else up, and it should fall right into place. And there we have it. Our pages are in place. Now you're gonna wanna let this dry for a minute and push on it like this too while you're letting it dry some. But once you feel it's nice and secure and in place, you're gonna wanna let it sit for a good 10 minutes, maybe 15 if you feel comfortable letting it sit a little longer. But about 10 minutes is usually what I let it sit for, just to know that it ain't gonna go anywhere and it's fully dry. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and take this clip. Now you don't have to use a clip, especially if you have a really brittle book. You don't want to use a clip, but this one is just the right size. So you can go ahead and clip the book. It'll hold everything in place so it can dry. All right, we'll come back to you in a minute.
I'm gonna take it too.
Alrighty guys, this journal sat long enough, I think. Let's go ahead and take these off. So it's still a little, I don't think it, because of how thick I did the spine, but that's okay. Yeah, it just feels, because I have that floating spine sitting in there, but it mounted nicely. Oh yeah. It is really pretty. I really like it. Mom likes it. She approves. Alrighty. So it's personal preference on this. You can either put the glue on this side or you can put the glue on this side. If you put it on this side, make sure you don't extend past the fabric line and end up with it on your paper. If you do, you're gonna have to set, like for instance, this ruler or another piece of paper or some wax paper, or just like a pen or something to keep it from touching the pages until it has proper time to set and not set directly to your pages. So I'm just going to kind of directly swirl it onto the fabric. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I do it both ways. Sometimes I'll just be like, all right, because I'll pre-cut like wax sheets of paper, and I'll just slide them into the book and drop them in a pile and move on to the next one. Alrighty. The same thing with gluing on the fabric though. You have to be careful not to get it onto the page while you're gluing the fabric. So let's go ahead and smooth this out. So you don't want to end up with any glue, like big huge glue gobs, and have it bleed out again onto the page or anything else. So let's go ahead and press our fabric down and make sure it gets a good seal. And line it up with these lines on the top and the bottom. If there's a little extra fabric in the middle, you can always push out whatever wrinkles may appear. And if there's like some light ones, then you can just cover them with the paper. They'll be fine. But if they're like really, really heavy ones, you may have to peel back the fabric and start again. There you have it. And you don't even have to wait for that to set. Once you've glued it, move on to the next side if you did not get any glue above the fabric line. All right. After this, we're gonna go out inside and work in the yard for a little while. Although Tucson may have made it to 103, 104 today, down here it stayed in the 90s, so it's really nice outside right now. Then I gotta go water the doggies and feed them and make sure they're doing all right. And then come back and maybe get some more journal stuff done. And keep an eye out tonight on Instagram because I just finished a beautiful, I was telling you guys earlier about that little happy mail I finished, and I sent it out. I'm sorry I did not film it. I totally spaced it, but I was in a rush to get to the post office, but I did not forget to take some amazing photos, so they will be up on Instagram. All right. There we are. And that one is ready to go. Let's get rid of our glue on our hands. Put our cap on our glue. Now we're going to need either scissors if you don't have one. And if you use scissors, you might want to grab a ruler to draw some straight lines to help guide you and all that other stuff. But I grabbed my new fangled cut board. Kind of in love with this thing, not gonna lie. So first thing we're gonna do is take our ruler and we're gonna measure. And earlier we didn't exactly measure, now we need an exact measurement. So we have 7, and it's not even a 1/4 of an inch, it's like an 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 16th, I don't know, I'm too lazy to count one, but it's probably an 1/8 of an inch. Be sure and measure your individual book. Depending on which book you choose, each book will be different. And I know this is a specialty size, so All right, exactly 7 and 1 notch. And how wide is it, you ask? Well, maybe I should measure that. So it is 4, it's not quite a half, but we'll do a half, because even if it overlays just a tad bit, it's still, we would rather have a little bit too much than not enough. Same rule applies with fabric. So we got 4.5 by 7 1/8. All right, so we're gonna do, I want it this way. So we're gonna do 7 1/8 long way, so we can have 2 plates here. 7. I think that's 7 1/4, but that's okay. Let's see how smooth that was. This one is so pretty. All right. Now we're gonna do 4.5. There's our first book plate. We're gonna do 4. There's 4. Oh, you know what? I think I did 4 1/4. I hope I didn't do 4 1/4. That would be my luck. Nope, I did 4. Nope, I did 4 1/4. Blonde moment. All you guys on the other side probably like, you messed up. Yep, it's a little too short. You know what? This fabric is so pretty though. Yeah, let's try and see what it looks like. Yeah, it'll be fine. Actually, yeah, we're gonna actually end up having to cut off a little bit, so perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cut off a little bit. All right. How simple was that? I know Miss Debbie, she's always watching. She went out and got one of the cheaper model of that cupboard, like the one I originally had. From what I remember correctly, she loves it too. So, but I'm really in love with that thing. It does amazing work. Ooh, that is just, I'm glad I picked that one. So pretty. All right. Now let's make sure it's right side up this time. I'm notorious for putting them on upside down. And you can ink the edge of this if you want. I don't feel like it should be inked. That, and if I did ink it, I think I would ink it with the Oxide Ranger ink, the sepia tone that my aunt got me a while back, and I forgot it at home. So if I decide I want it inked when I get home, then I'll just have to get out a makeup brush or something instead of using the because I've found that if you use a makeup brush when it's already affixed to whatever project, it's a little bit easier than using an actual dabber thingy mabobber the traditional way. Oh, my mom's rolling over here. She's scooting. She's scooting. All right. Mount that right into place. And before we do anything else, because I've been really bad at forgetting this lately, I'm gonna put at Miss Daisy. There we go. And I will date it when we're done. Then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Got a big glue blob there. Just be sure and smooth it out. And again, swirlies, I love the swirlies. It gets the most coverage going on. Make sure most of your paper comes in contact with your projects. I also used to do like big globby glue lines like I did using on the Textblock spine right when we mounted it. Sometimes I'll do it that way too, but I find this way is just easier all around. So, oh, I have some surprising news. I don't really want to divulge it until I know for sure, but fingers crossed, guys. Definitely please pray for me, because it would be a big blessing for this good news to come to fruition. But thus far, I mean, I'm pretty ecstatic. My other half is ecstatic. Mom, not as much, but you know, it could definitely mean a lot of good things for the future. So, as soon as I know something, I will let you guys know. And that is that. So, our beautiful, amazing journal is completely finished. I hope everyone loved this tutorial. I hope it was really easy, and that it wasn't too overbearingly long. I know someone requested for the eco paper, so I will be working towards my next batch of eco paper. Of course, in order for that to happen, there has to be some beautiful flowers and such blooming, and in Arizona this time of year, it's a little bit harder to find stuff like that. It's possible, but not as in bulk as you can about a month or two ago. So, ooh, I love that page. It's so pretty. But as soon as I do, we will be uploading. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Bye.